Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight. We have the Super Formula Lights here at Spa. You are in for a treat tonight for the first time ever. Super Formula Lights broadcasted live on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. So as always, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in here for this Monday night action here at Spa. Qualifying is wrapping up here. Our racers have about 45 seconds remaining to rip it around in this open qualifying session. And we're going to get straight into it tonight. We're going to have a 1-hour time to race, folks. Be sure, click that like button, subscribe to the channel here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the only place you can get all the action, everything from NASCAR to Super Formula Lights. Here tonight we have the Motor City Racing Super Formula Light Series. We'll be back here in one moment as qualifying wraps up right now. And we're back here. It is official. Qualifying has ended. Quick time entering on top of the board. 2 minutes, 8.99 seconds. Going to be kicking off from the pole position. About 20 cars signed in here tonight. Great turnout for our Super Formula Light Series. This is going to be a good one, folks. Open wheel racing. These cars are a lot of fun to drive. I've been messing around with them the last week or two. I actually raced last week in this series. I was actually the best car out there. I just kind of got cheated out of the win, believe it or not. But it looks like it's official, though. Casey Catola ripping it around. He's going to start from the 5th position here in his Super Formula Light. Then we got Richard Danielewski. He's starting 4th. While Casey Catola pulls it into the pits here, we're going to grid up, and we're about ready to get tonight started here, folks. Again, thanks for tuning in here. Click the like button on the video, subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in last night, Christian and Jesse were on the call. I was at the NASCAR race over there near St. Louis. It was a fun night. Jesse and Christian put on a good show last night, but we're going to try to do the same here with Motor City Racing as Donald Calcutt ripping it around the speedway here. He is currently running in the 9th position. But, folks, drop a comment in the chat here. Let us know how your NFL team did. You know, first week of the NFL season started this week.
Hey, what chat is everyone in?
Sorry about that. Get that fixed up. All right, we're ready to roll, but it looks like qualifying's over. There we go, finally. You know what? We might have a 25-lap session instead of an hour, so I don't even know what I'm talking about, folks. But nonetheless, it is time to get gridded up here tonight. Super Formula Lights with the Motor City Racing Series. If you're interested in joining, folks, check out our description. Join our Discord. We will send you the information you need to join over here as MCR puts on multiple great series, including IMSA, Super Formula Lights, and much, much more. But, folks, it is time to get gridded up here tonight. And let's go through our starting lineup here. As the cars start to roll in here, we're going to have a standing start here at Circuit de Spa, Francorchamps. I totally made that up. Hopefully that's close. But, folks, it is time for tonight's starting lineup for Super Formula Light Racing Motor City Racing League. We'll wait a moment for some of these guys to get gridded up so you can take a look at their cars. We got the Hutchinson Motorsports TV bangers playing in the background. Get up, stretch your legs, maybe dance a little bit. 21 cars signed in here tonight. Motor City Racing, Circuit de Spa, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. It is time to go through tonight's starting lineup on the front row on the inside from the pole position. The 96, Ian Drennan on his outside. The 72 from Canada. I've taught him everything he knows about racing. Alex Lalonde. Row number 2 on the inside in the 26 machine, Cameron Fair, and the green flag's in the air. Boy, did we botch that or what, folks? Green flag in the air here at Circuit de Spa. Boy, with these stop starts, we have no clue when they're gonna go. So they just punched it and they went heading into turn 1. They're junking it. Oh my, a big pile up. It is a parking lot in turn 1. Boy, and we don't have cautions here, folks, but look at them. And they're still going. They're still crashing into each other. My turn 1, they junked it. We got a junk blue car there. I believe that's Michael Ford. That is unfortunate for Michael Ford. He is junked here tonight. But we got some racing up front here. In the middle of the pack here, Julian Padilla running in the 8th position here, trying to rip it around in that 888 machine. But out front, your race leader so far, Ian Drennan out of Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Believe he moved near the Atlanta area, if I'm not mistaken. Ian Drennan, a big kart racer on those road courses out there in the Atlanta area. But boy, is he good in these Super Formula Lights as he's out front with Alex Lalonde chasing him. I might have to call Alex, give him some pointers so he can reel in that 96 of Ian Drennan. Let's hop on board with our second place car, Alex Lalonde. We got the Hutchinson Motorsports TV cockpit view with Alex Lalonde in the 72 machine out of Port Perry, Ontario, Canada. D&D in the chat, chatting with Connor. Big fans. I tell you what, Connor Gerard is the biggest Hutchinson Motorsports TV fan in the world, D&D. So if you got a question about Hutchinson Motorsports TV, Connor Gerard in the chat, he probably knows more about it than I do. But we jump around here. Om Prajapati running in the 9th position here. He is in Chicago. Running in the top 10 so far, long way to go, 25 laps. I thought it was a timed race, but what do I know, folks? I don't know anything. But as I was saying, though, before the green flag randomly dropped, sorry we missed the starting grid, but you can take a look there at the board if you're wondering where your favorite racer is driving. But this Sunday and Saturday, I was over at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the NASCAR races. I went for both the Xfinity on Saturday night and the NASCAR Cup race on Sunday. And boy, it was a great time out there. And I actually, sitting next to me, there was a guy from Brazil. He actually traveled all the way over here to go to a NASCAR race and some other stuff. But he had no clue what was going on. I kind of had to tell him how the stages work and stuff. But he's a cool guy. Said he normally likes F1 and stuff. And said he definitely enjoys NASCAR because he even admitted F1 can get a little bit boring because they don't ever pass. But all we know so far out front, looks like Om Prajapati just junked it. Let's see what happened. Prajapati ripping it here around the track. Let's see if he goes into the corner, throws a slide job. Oh, look out! Oh, no! Boom! Om Prajapati is junked. Looks like Steven Taylor in front of him junked it as well. So let's see what happened here with Taylor in that 13. Side by side into the hairpin. I'm just making that up. But when he spins out, gets side slammed, he is done. That was a side slapper for Steven Taylor. You're junk. So we go back live here, Ian Drennan, your race leader. And folks, you know what? Let's go back to the start here. Go to this initial start replay. What happened here? Into the corner here. I'm sure somebody just sends it in too hard. Let's see. Big turn into the right. Yeah, just a big checkup. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see what happened here. Oh, Casey Catola was involved as well. Let's get another view here. So, again, here it is off the start. Catola, a little aggressive move there. Slits his brakes. The guy in front of him checks up. Catola gets into the blue car, gets stuck on him. Big pile up. And they're junk. But that was the start. Now we're watching Ian Drennan try to hold off Alex Lalonde here on lap number 2, Circuit de Spa here with the Super Formula Lights. Boy, this is a good battle up front here. It looks like Alex Lalonde is just staying on that back bumper, waiting for a mistake. Although they don't have bumpers, but I'm still going to call it that, folks. Go to the right front suspension cam, folks. I mounted this on Alex Lalonde's car when he wasn't looking. I was making some changes to the car as well. Again, I've taught, Alex Lalonde, he's kind of my protege. I've taught him everything he knows about racing. He's starting to figure it out, it looks like, as Lalonde right on the back of that race leader. That is a lap car in front of him right now, it appears. Not sure who that is, trying to look through the field. Oh, it's Michael Ford. After getting junked early on in the race, he towed it, used him a fast repair, got his car fixed up, and now he's back out there ripping around some laps. And speaking of Michael Ford, unfortunate start for him, but a big shout out. Michael Ford is the reason today's broadcast was possible. He got the job done. Unfortunately, got junked in turn 1, but he's still going to get out here. He wants to log some laps and get some TV time. Michael Ford. Now we drop back here to the 3rd position. Richard Danielski. I'm totally butchered that name, Richard, but I'm sure you're used to it. He's running in the 3rd spot. 4th place currently, Cameron Fader. Right behind him, fan favorite Nate Bednowski running 5th. 6th place, Tyler Mantle. We saw Tyler Mantle pull off the move of the century a couple weeks ago in the IMSA race. It was pretty impressive, folks. I tell you what, Tyler Mantle, he was ripping it around in a GT3. And LMP2 was getting around him, and Tyler wasn't too happy about it. So he just turned left and hooked him and just flat out junked him. It was honestly great. But behind him in the 7th position, Jared Ray Hutton ripping it around here in that number 5. Donald Calcutt out of Charleston, South Carolina. That was where I was born, Donald, so no wonder you're running so good. Running in the 8th position, sitting in 9th, Stephen Hassett. Rounding out the top 10, Christopher Santiago, straight from all the way from Puerto Rico. Christopher Santiago. But your race leader, though, once again, in Drennan out front, a 6/10 of a second lead, trying to hold off Alex Lalonde as Richard Danielski running in the 3rd spot. Not too far back. Let's hop on board our 3rd place car, Richard Danielski. I was logging some laps around in practice. Honestly, I was the fastest car out there. If I was out here, I'd probably be leading this race. But nonetheless, going through this section of the track right here, you're flat-footing it. All those corners you just saw them in, you don't even lift. It's kind of incredible. So you're still floored here, still floored. You're in 6th gear the whole time. Then you got this big corner coming up here. We're going to pull up the Hutchinson Motorsports TV track cam here. If I can get it. It's not going to work here for us, folks, but obviously you lift there into the corner, a hard right here, you keep it floored. Then you got a hook to the right here as I'm trying to get up this track map. Give me a moment here, folks. Not sure why it's not wanting to work. But we're going to stay on board here with Richard as we mess around with some settings here. Look at this sold-out crowd, though, here at Circuit de Spa, I believe, where, I'm not going to lie, I have no clue where we're at. So let's pull up your Hutchinson Motorsports TV race information. There it is. Circuit de Spa, France or Champs, whatever you want to call it. Here it is, where we are in Belgium, folks. A 4.3-mile track length. If you go in kilometers, I have no clue what to tell you, folks, because I don't do kilometers. So 4.3 miles. This is a big track. 68 degrees outside. We got a chance of rain. Hopefully the rain will hold off here. I assume it will. But other than that, though, folks, pretty good racing so far here as we head into lap number 4. Again, these are some long laps. Almost 2.5 minutes to get around this speedway, I feel like. Maybe I made that up, though. I have no clue. But, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the quick time right now, 2:09.9. So about 2.25 minutes or so to get around the speedway as we drop back here. Cameron Fader in the 4th position. And rounding out the top 5, Tyler Mantle. So as Drennan continues to lead the race, folks, we're going to take our first break of the evening, try to get some things taken care of, and we will be back shortly, folks. Check out the description here in the video. There's some information in there for you, and we'll be back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Spa. Right now, we're watching Christopher Santiago rip it around in the 9th position. He's got some fans here in the chat. Very popular all the way from Puerto Rico. Can Christopher Santiago get the job done here as he tries to get up through the field? He's got a bit of a gap, though, till the next car, who is Stephen Hassett in the 8th position. But out front, though, Ian Drennan, he is looking good here at Spa. Again, out of Port Elizabeth, South Africa, currently resides in the Atlanta area, I believe. Ian Drennan, he is a ringer here at Spa, trying to get the job done with a second lead on Alex Lalonde. But let us know in the chat, folks, who are you rooting for? Who's going to get this thing done here tonight? Or who do you think is going to hang on to a top 10 or just junk it, maybe get last? We got Connor Gerard in the chat. Apache Geyser in the chat. DND in there as well. Jake Young, if you're still tuned in, Jake, shout out to you as well, bud. But we appreciate everybody here tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Be sure to click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Where else are you going to see Super Formula Light action at Spa? So we drop back a little bit. I haven't talked much here about Leonardo Elijah in the 11th position. Not sure what country he's from. Got a weird flag on his name. Currently resides in Salt Lake City, Utah, though. I do know that. Looks like he's heading, oh, never mind. I thought he was going down pit road there for a second, but he is not. But Michael Ford back out there on the track after being involved early on out of Keller. Well, Michael, we don't know where Keller is. The next time you get a chance, if you can add the state to your hometown, that would be wonderful. In front of him, on the 15th position, Corey Sertoff out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Corey is struggling here at Spa. In front of him in 14th, Julian Padilla. Not much info here about Padilla. And then in front of him, we have Damian Bellows. Again, not much info here in 13th position, Damian Bellows. And then we got Om Prajapati in 12th out of Chicago. And in 11th, again, we just mentioned him, Leonardo Elijah. But out front, your race leader, still by about a second here. Not much changing out front. Ian Drennan holding off Lalonde. Danielski in the 3rd position, a fellow countryman of Lalonde, also from Canada. Can the Canadians get it done? Or is Ian Drennan going to get it done here? As Jared Ray Hutton junked it earlier. Let's see what happened. Not sure how long ago this was, folks. This was a while ago. I think when we were on break. Oh, just hits that curb, throws the slide job. I've been there, done that, Jared. Don't you worry, bud. Stephen Hassett just junked it. Let's see what old Stephen did here out of Coal City, Illinois. Boy, he was racing hard there, side by side. Oh, late break. Forgot there was a corner there. Stephen Hassett goes off the track, takes a little bit of a shortcut, gets it rolling, trying to get back up to speed here as he's trying to get around Donald Calcutt. But again, not much changing up front here. Second separates the two cars out front, then a big gap behind them, about 5 seconds to third. Then Fader and Mantle rounding out your top 5 here. We're 8 laps into this 25-lap sprint here at Circuit de Spa on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Folks, it is time to go down trackside for some Harpoon Design Bring the Noise. Let's go trackside here. Try to find something good going on. These cars aren't too loud, though, folks, so we can't really crank it up too loud, but we're going to do it nonetheless. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Enjoy the sounds of the track here. Harpoon Design Bring the Noise. Check them out. I'll put the link in the chat. Harpoon Design. As we return back here, that was Harpoon Design Bring the Noise. Not much noise in these little cars ripping around here. I tell you what, they are quiet as a mouse. But folks, be sure check out Harpoon Design, a sponsor of Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service, harpoondesign.com. Now, you know, Brantley Roden, he is actually the #1 painter on Trading Paints. That is a confirmed fact, actually true. But he doesn't really handle these open wheel cars very much. He is more of a NASCAR or a dirt car guy. Basically do anything other than a road course car. He's got you hooked up. But hey, check him out though, harpoondesign.com. His paints start at $25. He's got a little drop down box so you can see if he does the car that you race. But I definitely recommend it. He has some of the best paints in the business. As we return back here, jumping around here, Nate Benarowitz in the 6th position here, trying to run down Tyler Mantle for 5th. Starting to get a little dark here at Spa, it looks like. We don't have lights, folks. We should be good to go. As always, though, thanks again for tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Click that like button on the video. In the description, you're going to see a link to our Discord channel and also some other information. Ways to support us and whatnot here as we head into lap number 10 of the evening here. Motor City Racing, Circuit de Spa. As Santiago, oh, we got Nate Benarowitz down pit road here. Looks like he's the first of our leaders to pit. Oh, looks like he's stopping. Oh, there we go. That's weird. Pit road, I guess you just stop in the middle of the road and they give you some service or something. Well, that was quite the pit stop there, folks. So there it is with no crew. Nate Benarowitz getting some tires and fuel. He is rolling as Cameron Fader running in the 4th position. But let us know, though, in the chat who you pulling for here. We got Connor Gerard. We got Messi in the chat. What's going on, Messi? Yeah, Messi wants to call out CK. Yeah, yes, it was a great race for CK, wasn't it, Messi? Boy, that was a rough one. Casey Catola out there junked it in turn 1, and I don't think he's made it back out since. And we got Connor Gerard out there, Apache Geyser, DND. all kinds of fans in our chat. We love our fans here at Hutchinson Motorsports TV, folks. Be sure to click that like button on the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe as well, as we are currently at 698 subscribers, folks. 2 more. Let's try to get this tonight. While we're racing here at Circuit de Spa, I would love to hit number 700. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely do so, please. And you know what? If you have an alternate account on YouTube, why don't you just log into that real quick? Click that subscribe button as well. Let's push us over that 700 mark so we can celebrate together here tonight in the Super Formula Light League. In the chat, Connor Gerard says, now we get to watch the pit stops. That's true, Connor. Who's gonna be the best on pit road here? Definitely a place you can make up a lot of ground as Alex Lalonde starts to reel in your race leader. Race lead down to half of a second. You know, during that last break, though, you know, Alex was sweating it. You know, he just couldn't figure it out on the track. So he gave me a call up here in the booth. And we talked it over for a couple minutes. I gave him some pointers, and it looks like it's worked out as he's right to the back of that race leader, Ian Drennan. So we got a battle for the lead. Lalonde in second. Drennan holding on for now. Let's see if Lalonde can find a way around. It's one thing to get to that back of the car, but it's another to actually find a way around here in these tight quarters racing here at Spa. Still nothing brewing yet. Can't find a way around as Santiago down pit road. So Christopher Santiago at the Puerto Rico down pit road, still in the 10th position after pitting. So going to be interesting to see when these leaders come down pit road. Do you think they'll come in together? Or maybe if one goes in, the next, maybe the next lap one will come in. Who knows how these guys are going to play it out here. We're not even halfway done yet, folks, here on lap number 11 out of 25 here at Spa in the Super Formula Lights. And boy, that is a good strategy by Ian Drennan. That's kind of what I was doing, you know. When I was running this series last week, there was a guy behind me trying to pass me. I was throwing up a bunch of debris on the track. I'm not sure if that's frowned upon or not, but hey, it was effective. And I was snaking the draft. I was doing everything I could. It was a great battle for last. And I got the job done, folks. Didn't I, Messi? But we drop back here. Nate Bednarowitz in the 7th position. He was the first of our leaders to come down pit road. So he's looking to gain some ground here as we look through the board. Your fastest lap of the session is still from the race leader, Ian Drennan, a 2:09.22. So again, it takes a little bit over 2 minutes to get around this speedway or circuit, whatever you want to call it here. Great racing so far out front. Lalonde hasn't junked the race leader yet. We're going to stay tuned right here, though, because this is a battle for the lead. 0.2 seconds separate them. They are bumper to bumper, nose to tail, whatever you want to call it. As it looks like our 3rd place car starting to reel them in a little bit. Danielski in the 3rd position there on the same straightaway, about 2.5 seconds behind the 2. Uh-oh. Bednarowitz back down pit road. Must have had some problems, maybe a speeding penalty. I have no clue. Not a good night here for the 93. We call him Nate Bednarowski around here. So that's unfortunate. His night's basically toast here. He's going to try to salvage it as Christopher Santiago still running in the 10th position. I believe Santiago and Bednarowitz are the only 2 that have pit. Could be wrong. Maybe I made that up. It is possible, folks. But the battle for the lead continues here. Lap number 12 on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. If it's your first time tuned in here, folks, you know, typically we do NASCAR stuff, but here in the last month or 2, we've branched off here. We've been doing some IMSA racing with MCR. It's been a blast. And now we're opening it up even more, doing some open wheel races. We hope to do more of these in the future, but who knows how that's going to go. And if you're curious of the Monday Night Football game, Bears just took a 10-3 lead, almost halftime over the Vikings. But here comes Drennan and Lalonde, both of them down pit road. And then Danielski in third and Cameron Fader in fourth as well. And then here comes Mantle in fifth. So the top five all pitting on the same lap. Breaking this race up in exactly two halves. So in the sixth position out of Coal City, Illinois, Steven Hassett. Let's see if he comes down pit road or if he keeps that thing rolling. Race off pit road, nothing's changed. Ian Drennan, still your race leader, has actually gained some ground as Alex Lalonde back to 1.2 seconds. Boy, a bit of a slow pit stop there for Lalonde out of Port Perry, Ontario. Third place still his countryman Richard Danielski, and then Tyler Mantle, another fellow Canadian. So we've got three Canadians from second to fourth. Ian Drennan better look out. They might be planning something. It is a 1-on-3. So can Ian Drennan hold off the Canadians? Chasing him, and he throws it sideways. He's off the track. Oh, I think some debris was kicked up, and he got into it. Oh, my, that is unfortunate. Your race leader, Ian Drennan. I don't know if debris hit it or if it was the cold tires, but Drennan is going to lose 2 spots and fall back to the third position. Let's try to find out what happened here, folks. Let's check out the onboard camera. Ian Drennan here. Oh, let's see here. You know, I don't know. It could have been debris. Almost was deadly right here. Right there. That would have been bad. But he's able to get it back rolling. He has fallen back to the third position. That might ruin his chances to win this race as Alex Lalonde, licking his chops, takes over the race lead. With his fellow Canadian in second, 2 seconds behind here. Richard Danielski going to try to run him down. Tyler Mantle in the fourth position and Hassett in fifth. Looks like Julian Padilla has junked it. Let's see what happened with the 888 of Padilla. I don't know why I said he crashed. He definitely didn't crash that I saw. So he's fine. Let's see if Corey Surtoff. He looks like he had an incident here. Jefferson City, Missouri, going into the corner up here. Yep, slide job. But I tell you what, that is a tricky corner right there. You know, earlier when I was logging some laps, that was probably my worst corner. Which, you know, I don't have many bad corners. I am kind of an ace at these cars. I'm kind of known around this league as the Super Formula Light Ace, one of the best in the business at it. Again, these guys are lucky I'm not out there racing. I would probably, I don't know, I'd probably have about a 10-second lead on Lalonde out there, I would guess. Well, folks, we're here on lap number 14. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service, the only place you're going to see NASCAR, IMSA, and Super Formula Light Racing. What else could you ask for, folks? It is the only streaming service you need online. Quit wasting your money on junk streaming services. You need to unsubscribe. Get rid of YouTube, Netflix, all that other good stuff. All you need, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're going to be back in a moment. Take a quick break. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel, and there's some information in the description for you if you'd like to learn more. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Spa, the battle for the race lead. Look how close it is. A new racer has inserted himself in this battle. Danielowski in the second position, 4/10 of a second, and he's right on the back bumper of Alex Lalonde with a lap car in front of the two. Not sure who that is in front. Let's take a look here. Julian Padilla sitting in front of them. He is in the 14th position trying to hold off these race leaders. The 888 of Padilla. Is he gonna, and move to the inside. Door to door, Lalonde trying to hold off Danielowski. Side by side, down the front stretch, the start-finish line up here. 8 laps remaining, side by side battle for the race lead as Lalonde narrowly holds on. Lalonde has that preferred line as he's on the inside there currently, but Danielowski gonna try to get a run here on the outside. With debris on the track and a lap car in front of them. These two are door to door, slowing each other down big time as Ian Drennan trying to reel them in, currently in the 3rd spot. Boy, they're running hard here. Again, you're flat footing it through this section of the track here with a big hook to the right coming up here shortly. They are door to door. Who's going to give going into, I'm going to call it turn 1, even though it's not. Lalonde on the inside, but Danielowski going to get a run, and he's going to take over the race lead. New race leader, Richard Danielowski out front. Oh, and he gets off the track a little bit, throws a little debris up into Lalonde, pulls a trick out of my book there. Tell you what, that is a good strategy there. Kick some rocks up on the track, slow down your competition, try to get around this lap car as Richard Danielowski trying to bring home the win tonight with the Super Formula Lights at Spa on Hutchinson Motorsports TV with the Motor City Racing League. Boy, that was a great battle for the race lead. That was the first pass for the race lead. You know, earlier Ian Drennan had the lead, ended up falling off the track there. Had to give it up that way, but Danielowski, though, reeled those two in. And now here he is sitting pretty out front. Can he hold on and keep Alex Lalonde behind him? But he's got to find a way around this lap car as Julian Padilla is not giving him an inch. Again, Julian Padilla in the 14th position. He definitely seems to be slowing these guys down a touch. I mean, I'm not saying he's finally going to let him go. So he goes to the inside, lets the leaders go, doesn't want to hold them up too much more as Ian Drennan has reeled him in big time. He's gained about a second here in the last couple laps. Boy, Drennan was hoping that lap car, Padilla, would hold him up just a little bit longer, but he has now put himself up here just 2 seconds behind the top two. Meanwhile, in the 8th position, Christopher Santiago, one of the fan favorites here out of Puerto Rico. Can Christopher Santiago hold on to a top 10 finish here tonight? Meanwhile, Donald Calcutt currently running in the 5th spot here. He's gained 4 spots since the start of this race, but tonight, folks, your hard charger is actually Leonardo Elijah. He started all the way back in 17th. Here he is up to 9th. 8 spots gained for Elijah. But don't forget about Richard Danielowski. Started back in the 4th position. Here he is in the race lead with 6.5 laps remaining here tonight. Let's hop on board with Alex Lalonde in the 2nd position. See if he can figure something out. Not much going for him right now as Ian Drennan continues to reel him in here. Lalonde only a second in front of Drennan right now. Boy, look at these beautiful views here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We are the world's #1 streaming service. Monday night racing, Super Formula Lights at Spa. What more could you ask for, folks? And there's the track map. Finally got it to work here, folks. So take a look here at this beautiful track. Now you see this big turn right here on the right. I call this turn 1, even though it's not. Maybe it is, hell, I don't know. But a big right-hand turn. Then you're basically floored all the way until the other side of the track. All these dips and stuff, you keep it floored throughout this track. I tell you what, folks, I am an expert at this track. Trust me, I was putting down some quick times earlier in practice. You wouldn't believe the lap times. And again, you're floored right through all this stuff. Looks like you got a lift, but you don't. You keep it floored down here, still floored all the way down until you got a big right-hander here in a little bit. Let's hop on board here. There you go. You lift a little bit there, just a touch. And then right here, just a touch more. And then right here is a big right-hander. He's got a, he's trying to get around. This is Ian Drennan trying to get around Alex Lalonde. He is on the back bumper trying to recover from his mishap earlier. He slid off the track from the race lead, fell back to third, but he's gained some serious ground. But he's running out of time here. If he wants to gain that race lead back, he needs to find a way around Lalonde. We're going to stay on board here, finish out the lap. This is the last big corner of the lap here. Then he's going to have some dips and stuff. Down a drag race here coming up. And the trickiest part of the track is this corner, not here, coming up here. It's going to be a left-hander. Well, it's going to go right, then it's going to go left. Right about here. Let's see if he can gain some ground here. And then a long straightaway there. Looks like nothing gained there for Ian Drennan in the third position. So Lalonde going to hold on to second, and Danielowski in the first position here with 5 laps remaining here at Circuit de Spa. Again, big shout out to Michael Ford making this race happen. He was involved in an incident early on the first lap. Bad news for Michael Ford, but he stayed out there. He stuck with it, used a fast repair, went down a lap. But here he is in the 14th position out of Keller. If anybody knows where Keller is, go ahead and let us know, because I have no idea. Ian Drennan side by side, looking to take over that second position from Lalonde, and he's going to do so. Lalonde says, go ahead, bud. I got nothing for Danielowski. You go right on and go after him. So Ian Drennan up to second here, a 2.3 second difference. He is going to have to go to work if he wants to reel in your race leader. And Cameron Fader just junked it. Let's see what happens. I call that a slide job, folks. So he loops it around there. No harm, no foul, no damage. So Ian Drennan currently 2.05 seconds behind your race leader. Let's watch that gap, see if it drops down any here coming up. That's really the best battle on the track right now, it appears, folks. Really the only battle on the track. These top 3. We have Donald Calcutt trying to reel in Cameron Fader after Fader looped it around. But he's nowhere near him. He's got about a 10-second difference. So really the only battles we're seeing is right here in your top 3. So with 5 laps remaining, Richard Danielowski, your race leader. We've had 3 different race leaders, which is pretty impressive here at Spa, you know. Not the easiest place to pass, but these guys are getting it done somehow. As we check the chat here, Connor Gerard still chatting. If you're tuned in, folks, be sure to click the like button on the video, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel, folks. We are at 699 subscribers for you math wizards at home. That means we need 1 more subscriber. Let's try to get that done here before this race ends. It would be great to hit the 700 mark here with Motor City Racing, Super Formula Light Racing, right here at Circuit de Spa in front of a sold-out crowd on Monday night. And once you do drop that subscription, throw a comment in the chat. Let everybody know that you were subscriber number 700. You will be remembered in the history books forever. Rumor has it no other channel has ever hit 700 subscribers on the internet. So we're trying to be the first, folks. I think Cameron Fader just junked it again. Let's take a look here. That wasn't the one from earlier, was it? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Cameron Fader doing some burnouts there in the rocks, kicking some debris on the track. Boy, a rough finish to what was a good night for Fader. He's falling back to the 6th position now. So Daniel Lowski trying to hold on to that race lead, but Drennan reeling him in. Lead is down to 1.6 seconds. He's gained about half a second here in the last lap. We're going to stay right here, watch this battle for the race lead as it develops here. Drennan appears to be reeling him in pretty quickly. Third place, Lalani starting to fall back here. He's got nothing for these top two. Oh, Ian Drennan down pit road. Uh-oh. Must have had a penalty for some reason. That is unfortunate. Had a shot at winning this thing. Had to go down pit road. Ian Drennan has to give up second as Lalani going to take it back over. That basically all but gives the race win to Daniel Lowski out front here. 4.89 seconds separates him and Alex Lalani. So about a 5-second gap here with just 3 laps remaining here at Circa de Spa on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We got Ken in the chat. Says it's Keller, Texas. So Michael Ford out of Keller, Texas. He is the GOAT here tonight, folks. Again, if you're tuned in, click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Again, we are at 699 subscriptions. Yeah, Messi says, wonder if Ian had low fuel. Quite possible. All I know is Richard Danielowski definitely loves seeing what he just saw. Because this race is basically over. He's just got to put around here, not spin out, fly off the track and junk that car, and he's going to win it here tonight. But again, folks, who is going to be our 700th subscriber? We need you to do it before this race ends so we can all celebrate together. It will be a great moment in history to be the first channel on YouTube to be at 700 subscribers. Wow. Incredible. Looks like Damian Bellows just junked it. Let's see what happened. I don't know. He's got a right front flat. He's jumped. Then we had another incident here. Donald Calcutt. Down the straightaway here. Gets into the grass a little, locks it up, forgets to turn. It's a tricky corner there. And this is when Bellows parks it. So, yeah, not too much going on there as Richard Danielowski. 2 laps remaining. He is out front here trying to hang on to take home the win at Circa de Spa on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Tyler Mantle down pit road as well. Some of these guys, I guess they were pushing it on fuel and ended up being a little short. So that's unfortunate. Tyler Mantle going to have to head down pit road out of Port Perry. He is a fellow Canadian. We got 3 Canadians in the top 4 for now as Mantle's down pit road trying to hang on to a top 5 run. And he gets off pit road. Yep, still in 4th as Stephen Hassett trying to reel him in here, take over that 4th position. Not going to be able to do so unless Mantle has some problems. So we're going to stay out front here. Richard Danielowski out of Ottawa, Ontario, your race leader in the number 4 machine. Been a great race for him. Started in 4th position, I believe. Worked himself up through the field. A mistake by Ian Drennan gave Lalonde the lead, and then Danielowski went to work and got around Lalonde to take that spot over. But let's hop on board with your race leader, Richard Danielowski. Heading through the corners, you're going to have his final corner up here on the left and right, and then you're going to see the white flag in the air. If he can get through here cleanly, has a 6.3 second lead. Race leader down pit road. Oh my, with 1 lap remaining, Richard Danielowski down pit road. Does Lalonde have enough fuel? Lalonde takes over the race lead. White flag in the air. Oh my, I did not expect that. Must have ran out of fuel. What a heartbreaker. Richard Danielowski put too little fuel in that machine on his pit stop earlier. Ian Drennan going to take over second. Has Lalonde out front by 10 seconds. Can he make it around? Does he have enough fuel? Final lap around Circuit de Spa. Alex Lalonde, he's swerving around. Looks like he's already celebrating. Or was that the checkered flag? I don't know. He's acting like it was a checkered flag. My thing says white flag, so I don't know. He's celebrating. Alex Lalonde taking a victory lap even though we're still green. Yeah, we're still green here, folks. This is the final lap around the speedway. Alex Lalonde. And folks, if you're watching Monday Night Football, the Bears just did a pick 6. This team might win the Super Bowl. They're up 17-6 on the Vikings. But nonetheless, Alex Lalonde, your race leader out front, taking a nice victory lap around before he takes the checkered flag here this time around. Taking the hard right here. Gonna get back on the throttle, go to the left. Then he's got a big right loop-de-loop up here. That's what I call it, folks. These Super Formula Light cars, I tell you what, I am an expert in these things. I have taught him everything he knows. Alex Lalonde trying to hang on here to win on Hutchinson Motorsports TV Super Formula Light Racing. Down the long stretch, he's keeping that baby floored. Needs to make it through one more set of corners up here. Can he get through there cleanly? As we're on the right front suspension cam with your race leader, Alex Lalonde. Takes the hard right, all good. To the left, smooth. On the gas, checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be Alex Lalonde at Circuit de Spa, your race winner. Wow, what an up and down race, folks. Boy, about 3 different cars we thought won this race already. You know, earlier we thought Drennan had this thing won. Then Danielowski takes over the lead, had a big gap, and then he has to pit on the white flag lap, and he gives over the win to Alex Lalonde out of Port Perry, Ontario. Let's get some of these guys in for an interview as Lalonde takes a victory lap around the speedway. What a finish. See who we got here in the chat. I'm not seeing Danielowski. If anybody knows him, go ahead, tell Danielowski to get in the chat. But I'm going to pull in Ian Drennan, though, our second place finisher, get him in here. Ian, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy? Ian, Blake up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Hey, you know, you didn't bring home the win, but a P2 has to feel pretty good here at Spa.
It does. I was very frustrated knowing that Alex was fuel saving in my slipstream the whole time, and when I tried to give up the pace, he just gave up more pace, and that put Richard in the mix. So, was a little bit of a boring race, I'm sure, for you guys, but I was hoping for some three-wheel action at the end, and then Alex ruined it by big braining us all, so it was all good.
Hey, no, it was definitely exciting seeing the strategy play out. I didn't realize how close it was going to be on fuel for you guys.
Yeah, we were down to one lap basically. As Spa's a big track, so if you don't feel safe from the beginning of the stint, you're done. And I wasn't able to, and Richard didn't realize it either. So I opted for a Hail Mary and an early pit for the second pit, and it actually worked out okay for me. I was kind of lucky there, but kudos to Alex, man. He played this one perfect.
Yeah, and after your first stop there, when you ended up looping it around, I wondered, did the debris help you out there, or was it just cold tires?
No, that's completely a skill issue. I just got excited on the cold tires. I knew that we were in a pretty good heat, and I just overgassed it. And then when they were cooked, I overgassed it again. So I did a double loop and just made life much harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, well, it definitely happens. I've been wondering how similar. I mean, obviously this is much different, but how similar is your karting when you go karting on the road courses? Is it anything like this in these cars, or what?
It's probably closest to the open wheel stuff. Very responsive. Obviously, we have no aero in the kart, but we are very low to the ground and we're very maneuverable. So as far as like your styles go, the style is much closer to an open wheel than it is for, say, GTP or GT3.
Absolutely. And then the track you normally race at over there, I believe in the Atlanta area. Which track is that?
That's good. That's Atlanta Motorsports Parkway. It's a phenomenal track. It was actually designed by an F1 guy. I forget his name. I'd probably be in trouble because I didn't know it. But he designed both the kart track and the kart track there. If anyone's in the Atlanta area, I highly recommend checking it out. It's got 40-foot elevation drops in some spots. The rental karts can get up to 50 miles an hour plus, and the karts that I race actually with Sean, who you know. Our karts are in the 70 to 75 mile an hour range.
Oh, well, that's pretty quick going around a road course. How big of a track is that?
That is a 1.2 mile track, I believe, and the karts that we do it in 52 seconds. So we're pretty much zooming around full speed as much as we can.
Absolutely. That would definitely be something to see. Back in the day, I raced go-karts, but it was on dirt tracks, so definitely haven't had the experience to go around a road course like that.
Well, it's a very different thing. I would love to try the dirt track sometime. That is a skill into itself. Drifting is also just another thing that's just completely foreign. So, it's the beauty of motorsports, right? Like there's about 20 different ways of enjoying yourself, and it's always a good time with good people.
Absolutely. Well, hey, great job out there tonight. It didn't work out. You didn't bring home the win, but a P2 finished pretty good here tonight. Before you head out, you got any shout-outs?
I do. First of all, always I have to shout out to you guys. We are so grateful to have you around. Massive shout out to Casey and the other people running the league. It has just grown leaps and bounds. We've got a bunch of people coming in. I cannot wait for season 4. It's going to be an absolute blast, and the IMSA series is going to be wild. We have 60 cars on the field next season.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's going to be crazy seeing, from the start, a full field, literally. But, hey, great job out there tonight, Ian, getting it done, bringing home P2.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Ian Drennan there, your second place finisher. I'm not seeing Danielowski in the chat, so it looks like we're just going to pull in our race winner, Alex Lalani. But, hey, we heard it, though, from Ian. He mentioned the kart complex he goes to. A lot of people, when they hear go-karts, they think, slow junkers. But, Ian, those things are top-notch karts, folks. You definitely see some videos of that, the stuff. It's pretty impressive the way they rip it around. So if you're in the Atlanta area, definitely check out that karting complex. I'd love to do so one day. But it's time to pull in Alex Lalonde here, your race winner here tonight. Alex, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Blake.
Hey, boy, I didn't really know what was going on there. I didn't realize how close it was going to be on fuel, but it looks like saving worked out for you, and you bring home the win.
Yeah, I got a little lucky that somebody called that fuel thing out right before the first pit stop, so I limped it home, and I started sputtering the moment I crossed the finish line there.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. I kind of realized why you were falling back so much, but looks like you were saving from the start.
It was a little bit of a nail biter there when Richard was pulling away from me and the laps kept ticking down. He wasn't going in. I was starting to worry, but I stuck with it. I thought about changing it up and just sending it to the end to give you guys a little more to watch. We could have had a 3-car battle there, but my want for winning overcame my option to provide more entertainment.
Hey, well, I definitely don't blame you. And, again, you get the job done here at Spa. Did a great job. But, hey, in 2 nights, we've got an event coming up. The multi-class race. Have you decided which car you're going to be racing?
Absolutely. You're going to see me try and take on some of the guys in our league in another class. I might jump into their car. I will be in the LMP2.
All right, well, that's going to be interesting to see. We haven't really talked about that tonight, but we're going to be doing a multi-class event and hosted to the public. So it's going to be broadcasted, hosted to the public. We're going to have LMP2s, NASCAR Craftsman trucks, all 3 manufacturers, and Mazda MX-5s. Definitely looking forward to that. Have you had much experience at Daytona and LMP2? I'm assuming you have.
In an LMP2, honestly, no. I've never driven it. I'll hopefully get some laps in tomorrow. GT3, tons and tons and tons. So I hope that it translates pretty well. Just did the Indy 6-hour in the LMP2, so I'm familiar with the car. But no, I have not driven it at Daytona. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I heard you guys finished second in your 6-hour, right?
Yep, that is correct. We had a bit of a tough go. Lapped car 5 laps down, took us out with about 10 minutes to go as we were running down the leader by 1.5 seconds a lap to the finish. So it was interesting, but we still came home with P2, so still quite happy with that.
All right, and in your team, it was you, Casey, Catola, and who was the third?
The ever elusive and mysterious Puddles.
Oh wow, Puddles. Well, I'm sure Puddles was just wheeling that thing around there.
Absolutely flying, but as you know, not too many words out of him.
No, he probably didn't say a word the whole race, did he?
Nope, nothing at all.
I kind of figured, but hey, great job out there getting the job done here in the Super Formula Lights. Here in a couple weeks, we're going to be starting the IMSA season number 4. How far or how much are you looking forward to that with 60 entries here?
Oh, I'm fired up. We are gonna have quite the healthy field. It looks like a lot of new competition. Every class looks like it has many competitors that should be in the championship running. It'll be exciting. Tomorrow when the update drops, I'm gonna be throwing some laps in the Aston Martin and making my decision on which car I'm gonna make you guys buy me for the season.
Oh man, those Aston Martins, they're pretty pricey, aren't they?
Yeah, probably you gotta imagine it's got to be a couple million, right, for one of those. But
Ugh.
we'll see. It'll be that. It'll be a Mustang. It'll be who knows.
Yeah, well,
Probably
hopefully,
some front engine.
hopefully you won't like the Aston Martin, is what we're hoping.
Yeah, I already got the Mustang in the garage, so it helps.
Absolutely. But hey, great job out here tonight, Alex, getting it done. Before you head out, you got any shout outs or anything for our fans at home?
Yeah, the same shout outs you usually get from me. First of all, shout out to my beautiful wife. Second of all, shout out to the MHR and 3-point racing teams that I tend to run endurance events with. And now I want to add the Motor City racing team to that list because not only am I in the league, I was also running under the Motor City banner for Indy. And then shout out to the league, the guys who put this on. What you may not know, Blake, is Puddles actually has quite the hand in organizing this. So shout out to him on this side. And also, finally, shout out to Michael Ford for putting on the broadcast tonight. I saw, unfortunately, he seemed to have got caught up in lap 1. It was really a shame because he was going to be pushing for the win today. But shout out to him for putting on an awesome broadcast.
Absolutely.
Or having you guys put on an awesome broadcast for us.
Absolutely. We've shouted out Michael Ford and couldn't have done it without him. But hey, great job, Alex. We'll send you down to celebrate with the team.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Blake. You have a good one.
You too. Alex Lalonde, your race winner here at Spa. And folks, you might have just seen it on your screen. Jesse Becker with the $2 super chat. That is the largest donation on the history of YouTube. Everybody put a W in the chat for Jesse Becker. Wow, what a subscription. Thanks, Jesse. That is incredible. I've never seen such a generous donation. But we're still at 699 subs. Man, I wish somebody would click that sub button before we tuned out tonight, but looks like we're going to be one short. But my guess is we're going to hit it tonight, though. Nonetheless, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service for the first time ever. Super Formula Light action here at Circa de Spa on the world's #1 streaming service. But, folks, before you head out, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Till next time, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! Turned! He got dumped in the racing. Caution is out. Oh, saw a lot. Oh! He's dead! Toward each other, Richter jumps in. Checkered flag in the air. Scott Richter wins it!
Jesse, we'll send another blimp for you, bub.